It is Shady's Babies, and welcome to my video about the 80% efficiency on Rust batteries. So, here it says at the bottom on all of these batteries that the charging rate is dependent on power in with a maximum of 80% efficiency. Oh. So, what does that mean? Well, if you have like 100 power coming in from 5 solar panels, you'd only get 80 of it realistically into the battery. So, I have two batteries set up here to demonstrate both of the input types. And I have this really weird setup because I've been having some issues with power and all that sort of jazz. So what I'm going to do is actually disconnect something to prove my point, and then I'll reconnect it and prove the other point later. Oh, I guess I could leave that in. So there's two, both systems have their ups and downs. I need to disconnect this one. There we go. So if I flick this on, you're gonna have 58 power coming into both systems, and this is gonna be charging, and this is gonna be charging. There it goes. So, on the left you have your standard setup where you just run power directly from your source into your battery, and then from your battery into the power system. This one is barely working because we have 58 power and we have 80% of that is just going away, and the system requires 47. Now if I give it a little more power, it'll charge a little more. These things are barely going. I'm gonna reconnect. That's just too much. Here, I'll reconnect this one over to this, and it'll be a little more. So that's a little more realistic. 5 solar panels, maybe. I don't know. Now you can see the charging, and this one's going to be a little bit faster. Now this is only going to be faster if you're within a certain threshold of that power. I haven't done the exact math on that, but the closer you are to your target power that you need, which is 47, the more efficient it'll be to do it this method. Now what does this method do? This method takes your main power supply and powers your objects over here, and then any excess, which would be, I don't know, this output, goes into the battery. So right here we have 52 excess power coming in. On this one, it's 108, but it's at that 80% efficiency, so realistically, I guess it's 156 now. So we have 100 power over there now. With this 156, that means you're losing about 30 power through this method. But, so if you do this side, what happens is you have your main power comes in, you have 49, this takes 1, so it's 48 to here. Well, yes. And then it goes through here, you have 48 coming out, and then it becomes 47 out here, which goes towards over here, and you need 47 to power this whole system. Now, if your battery, or if your system, if you only have 50 power coming in, this one will not work at all. If you have it's like 47 times whatever 1.2 is of that, I guess. You need at least 53 power. Oh, this is like the 8th time I tried recording this video. So this one has a higher minimum that you need to power the system. This one's a lower minimum. Now, as if I compare the batteries, this one's going to have a little bit more charge. We're looking at about 13 versus, yeah, it's got about 11 more charge, which isn't a whole lot. But in the long run of things, that can be, that can go from half hour to an hour to even longer than that, depending if you could be running a large battery, for example, with more power coming in. It can make all the difference. Now, it depends on how much power you have coming in. If you have a little bit of power, you're going to want to run this. If you have a stupid amount, you're going to want to run this one. And I'll hook this up and show you why. So now we're going to have an excess amount of power. Oh yeah, and if I turn these off, what's going to happen is this is going to switch on and off because it's switching from one power to the other. And this one is now going to be ticking down it's got about 10, 20 more seconds. Looking at about 13 more seconds, which isn't a lot, but it, after only charging this for about 5 minutes, that's quite the difference, especially in the long run. Now, if I have just a crazy amount of power, this left side is going to be what you want to use, because this one is going to waste 49 power when the battery runs out. And so this one is going to charge actually a lot, I think. 225 power. I don't know. Earlier I did this and I was running into an issue where this one was actually winning, and there wasn't that much of a difference. And the main contributor is that this system uses a little more power, uses 2 more power in there. And if you're below the threshold of this 49 or whatever, then there's no extra power. You know, I think there might be an issue with the server. So in theory, this right side should pretty much always be more efficient, but when I tried it out earlier, I was having an issue where this was actually charging faster. So I'll let that run for a little bit. And yeah, I guess we'll come back in a little bit. Alright, and we're back. I just compared them. It's still looking like the right side is the winner. I don't know what happened earlier, but there's the proof behind why you should do this system rather than this system. So this system takes 300 more frags to make. You're going to take a E branch, which you're going to set to 2 more power than what you need over here, which is 47. The circuit needs 47. If I turn it down to 46, you see that light's going to turn off. So 47 is what you're going to need. Interesting fact I just learned by today. This power system uses 10, and if you have 8 power, it'll bypass through it and won't waste it there, and it'll go to your other things. So to set this up, you need an E branch with 2 more power set for this. That's 2 more for the 2 things you use. You need 1 more E branch to control this blocker, so when you run out of power here, this will get cut off, it'll release this blocker, and it'll switch to battery power. That does mean that when you're on battery power, you are losing this power. So if you have a situation where you're constantly like turning on and off stuff, that could be an issue. But as you can see, almost 140 more power running these right here. So if you have any tips, tricks, you want to see the system built differently, feel free to leave them in the comment below. I will remake the video if there are any issues, and hopefully this all recorded right, because I don't want to really make this video again. So thanks for stopping by. I'll see you guys later.